I've waited a long time for this, son Goku. It's time to define who will be the destroyer of everything. Just like the thought of the gods, I've never agreed with anything, and thinking that you can choose what you want whenever you want and make mortals your own pawns make me extremely frustrated for that. My choice is to become a god killer, a true killer of the gods. I've saved this transformation to use against you! I live for this day! It doesn't even look like it's the true same Lord Goku as before. His skin is similar to the skin of the angels. Could it be that he was able to activate his transformation because he finally completely mastered his Ultra Instinct? You're next, Mr. Whis. So that's it. That was the power of the Saiyan of prophecy. That Saiyan who defies and denies all gods' decisions. Well done, Mr. Goku.
I had already forgotten. In fact, this whole time I just wanted to forget, but I lost them all.
Universe 6, outside the palace of Zuno, the one who knows everything. Totally confused, Beerus starts talking to Whis and says, "What are you talking about? I cannot understand anything. Where are they? What did Zuno say? It didn't make any sense. If you weren't here, I would definitely have ended it all. I'm sure everything would be destroyed, but come on, tell them where they are. Whis starts to smile and says, "That's not it, Mr. Beerus. Zuno himself ended up saying that they are nowhere to be seen." Beerus is confused and says, "How am I nowhere? I cannot understand that. How are we going to find them?" Whis responds, "Zuno actually wanted to tell you everything, but he didn't know how to say it either. Because time ends up passing by every second. While we're here, time continues to pass, so in fact, perhaps the only way we could accomplish, or at least controlling it, would be with an ability of the angels to accelerate the time or maybe stop it. That would be the only way we would find the body of this god of time. And in the case of space, it would be the universe itself. Can you understand that? Everything that we're seeing since when there are natural phenomena, like the black hole and other issues, they're all created by the gods. The only way for something to actually end up happening would be to piss them off or summon the ultimate Saiyan. It would be questionable, but it is perhaps that he has not been swallowed up by space and time. Oh, sir, maybe the three could be one. Or were they together for all this time?" Beerus starts watching and continues confused, saying, "I don't know yet, but how are we going to accomplish it and how are we going to bring it all together?" At that moment, Whis replies, "It would actually be very easy if we gathered the Super Dragon Balls and asked the Super Sharon to bring them all here. This would be so much easier, but I feel like Goku's energy is here. That energy would definitely make everything more complex, so if we think and analyze all this, we can understand what Goku was going to do." Well, come on. Pay close attention, Mr. Beerus. At that moment, Beerus starts to smile at Whis and says, "Then you'll want to mess with time again, won't you? I guess to say that the angels are the only beings that have the ability to change time to speed it up and maybe go back, then I must say that the angels must know this god of time very well. Isn't it, Whis?" Whis starts to laugh and says, "Oh, it looks like they've got it all figured out, Mr. Beerus. Well, let's start." Hey, how's it going? Just here to remind you to click the like button, subscribe here to the channel so you don't miss any videos, and stay well inside our entire universe of Dragon Ball. Without further ado, let's go back to the point. With the angel who can go back and forth up to 5 minutes in time, Whis learned this skill from a high priest. Legend has it that the great priest can perform extremely high skills when it comes to time. Angels are the only ones who can accomplish such a feat. Above that, the only one who can change chaos and reality would be the god of time, Zakin. At this point in the galaxy of Universe 6, we can see that Whis performs this ability and goes back in time in front of Beerus. Whis with his staff create a great atmospheric pressure in the galaxy. Whis says, "Mr. Beerus, I have very little time with this skill, so we're going to do what I believe can work." Whis, exerting extreme force on his staff and body, speaks to Beerus. "Now that I'm stuck in time, I needed to use the Hakkai's highest pressure of atmospheric energy. This energy will make your powers get higher and higher, and you will be able to bring them here in their flesh and blood forms." Beerus starts watching without understanding very well, but realizes that Whis knew what he was doing. Beerus begins to change a large ball of energy Hakkai over his body, making his entire body glow with an extreme purple aura. Beerus starts to rage and automatically his body activates his Hakkai form, the form that many gods of destruction have difficulty using. Beerus starts to feel a great pressure, believing that his body was about to explode, and at that moment Whis speaks. "Mr. Beerus, look in front of you. A big crack in space-time is being created. I can perceive and see everything. Looks like we're making it. We're doing it, Mr. Beerus." At that moment, Whis, still paralyzing time, and Beerus creating the energy of destruction begin to combine their powers. Beerus had been the only one who hadn't been affected by Whis' energy of destruction, as well as the time stoppage. What's going on in Universe 6 right now? The rift that had been created in time and space had been broken. Beerus watches and says, "I don't think we made it." At that moment, a great voice arises and speaks. "Whis, I haven't heard of you for a long time. It seems my presence is being requested again. Do you have any idea what this is? Is this the time for me to finish off Zeno-sama or to take back the power that is once mine? Another voice arises. Do you think you're the only entitled here? What is time without space? Can time pass by time? If nothing exists, not even space, what good would time do? Perhaps physics would not explain this. At that moment, another voice comes up and says, "You guys are pretty funny. But after there's space, and then there's time. There are people because what would the world be without people? And from people arises war. And from war arises the primate warrior race of the strongest Saiyans." Beerus starts watching and says, "This guy with spiky hair similar to Goku is definitely a Saiyan. So that means he wasn't just the ultimate Saiyan, isn't it, Whis? He is indeed the true god of war. And a god of war does not bow down to anyone, not even the gods and the angels." Zara watches and speaks. "Well, I'm here, and it feels like I'm free after a long time. You guys really were crazy to break the space and time barrier to free me, and even worse, release Kim and Zaki. You're crazy. Zakin, the god of space. Kim, the god of time. Legends has it that the combination of the power of the three, time, space, and war, formed the supreme being of all. This supreme being was able to annihilate everyone. His combination of powers due to a sealing, a child was born, and that child was Zeno-sama. However, the three separated possessed extremely high powers, capable of destroying anything. At that moment, Whis' space and time is broken. At that moment, Whis' space and time is broken. Whis says, "We only released you because we want to see what will happen with that timeline." At that moment, Zakin looks at Whis and says, I don't have much to say. I just want to release you two here and now because you two set me free. I hope that soon our paths don't cross so fast, because if not, it will be the end of you." Beerus watches and says, "How dare you!" At that moment, the god of space, the god of time, and the god of war look and says, "Well, I believe that's it. The time has come for us to return to our reigns." 3 planets appear directly in Universe 6, and soon after, 3 more universes are created. 3 universes that previously had their gods of destruction erased. At that moment, the god of war, the god of space, and the god of time take direct possession. Moments after, each of your gods begin to create an extremely gigantic army. Beerus says, What have we done, Whis?" To be continued. Amidst of all this, the supreme gods were brought back and their entire army as well. While Goku's goal was to be the god killer and eliminate the gods of destruction, now the supreme gods have appeared. Neither Zeno-sama nor any of the other thought of it. What will happen? Goku, alongside Vados and Margarita, had noticed a huge alteration in space and time directly in Universe 6. Goku says, "I felt the pressure of energy from Mr. Whis and Mr. Beerus, but at the same time, the release of 3 more powers was created." Margarita speaks.
"It seems that they didn't think twice and released the point of the 3 supreme beings. Funny that they did it without even asking permission from Zeno-sama and the Great Priest. Surely you must have greatly irritated them, Mr. Goku."
Goku begins to reflect and speaks. "But this doesn't make any sense. The last time I saw Beerus, he was in the Makai realm, and the tournament had been interrupted by Haki, the god of destruction from one of the universes erased by Zeno-sama. Beerus himself said that he would stay in the Makai realm for a while, and I decided to start my god killer plan against the gods of destruction. It doesn't make any sense that the Beerus, the destroyer, in a short time is back. Has it been deceiving me all this time?" Damn you, Mr. Beerus!
Vados observes and speaks. What do you intend to do, Lord Goku? 3 gods of destruction no longer exists, but 3 supreme beings were created.
Goku just stares. Margarita speaks.
No matter how strong you are, you won't do much good if everyone turns against you. If the supreme beings are back, a great battle will probably be approaching. Even more so that the moment Lord Zeno and Daishikan figure it all out, well, it might be all too late. Daishikan has not shown his powers for a long time. The last time the Great Priest fought alone against all supreme beings to protect Zeno-sama.
Impressed, Goku says. What? You're saying that Daishikan-sama was able to defeat all the supreme gods? Vado says.
Well, in part, Son Goku. I will reveal what happened. But you will still have to make your decision before it's too late.
Goku is thinking.
Vados concludes. It was a millennia ago. Zara, the supreme god Saiyan known as the god of war, Zakin, the god of space, and Kim, the god of time. These 3 powerful beings possessed an army capable of exterminating everything. So powerful were the 3 of them, not even their bodies were able to control everything. So it was necessary for them to join forces and create another being with a weaker mentality so that it could be the future of all existences.
Goku was shocked by what he was discovering. Goku questions. So you're telling me that these 3 could even control time and all of existence? Vados laughs.
Well, exactly, Mr. Goku. Still, they went crazy and started to destroy everything. At the time, the race of angels was the only race that could try to do something against them, and the hero of all angels was the first to challenge them. At that moment, we saw for the first time the real strength of the father of angels, the great priest. He managed to show extremely high power, fighting with all his might against the supreme gods of the past. A battle in space that lasted 7 days and 7 nights. Initially, we thought that Daishikan would be killed, but he showed unimaginable powers and managed to demonstrate extremely high skills, impressing all the gods. All universes felt the collapses of all the blows that were exchanged. Planets were destroyed just by the atmospheric pressure that each blow made. It was as if everybody could feel that the whole world could end just by showing the pressure of the powers when they collided. Many things ended up happening, until the moment that Daishikan used a secret technique against all the supreme gods and managed to stop them.
Goku interrupts and says, so that means that Daishikan won. Margarita starts to laugh.
Oh, my dear sister Vados, you're not telling the story, right?
Vado says,
Don't you dare to interrupt, sister. Daishikan didn't win. At that moment, again, the supreme gods lost control over their heads, and after losing control, they ended up exploding everything and began to attack everything as if they could not see anything else. The energy of the 3 gods began to unite, and the great priest prepared to receive the full attack of the gods. But in the blink of an eye, after the energies collided, the 3 gods were sucked into an interdimensional portal that appeared in space and time itself. The great priest didn't quite understand what was going on, but after that, 3 beings appeared in front of the great priest. These beings was an extraterrestrial child and 2 long beings of an unknown race.
Goku says, but were they enemies of the high priest? At that moment, Vado smiles and says,
Well, actually, to this day, they are together, Mr. Goku. This being that emerged was Zeno-sama and his guards.
Goku says, what? Vados concludes.
After this was shown, the legend began to pray that the bodies of the 3 supreme gods had become cosmic dust because they could not withstand the so much power pressure, and with that, through a ritual, they could return at any time. The great priest, knowing this, decided to change and create rules alongside Zeno-sama, who was still a child. The great priest understood that it would be his mission to protect Zeno-sama since he was the guardian and key to controlling all times, and that there would always need to be extremely powerful warriors in humanity so that they would be able to deal with any evil being that appeared. This is all clear, Mr. Goku. However, this timeline has always been disconnected from all the others, and after the destruction of 3 Hakaishins, Probably the balance was undone, as the Great Priest himself and Zeno-sama authorized the destruction of the Hakaishins. Apparently, some of them did not agree with what was happening and decided to carry out this ritual to show what happens to the world when there's no balance. Now, what will be the next step of the Supreme Gods or the Gods of Destruction? This is in our questioning, Mr. Goku. What will you do about it all?
At that moment, Goku observes and says, So that was it. I can't involve my friends in this battle. If I'm the one who started this all, I'll close this question. The first thing I'm gonna do is do my last training with you, Miss Vados. Soon after, I will find Beerus the Destroyer. I will take all the information from the Destroyer. I was sent to this timeline to bring balance, unlike other timelines. I am Goku, the God Killer. In this timeline, we won't need Hakaishins, because I am the being that will be among them. I'm sure the Supreme Gods will not want to get involved in battles, since perhaps their target is the celestial beings. While I don't deal with them, I'll have time to hone my powers further to finish off these guys in the end. Now, I'm going to start fighting seriously. This will all be resolved by myself, Son Goku. Margarita observes and speaks.
Wow, how bold. Very good.
Goku says, Let's start, Miss Vados. Vados smiles and answers.
You may come, Mr. Goku.
Goku began his last training with Vados in Universe 6. As the two fight, Goku speaks. Miss Vados, I need to get stronger. I was sent to this timeline to bring balance, and that is what I will do. No one will be able to stop me. Vados starts to smile and says,
Well done, Lord Goku. Don't let yourself be shaken by knowing that the three Supreme Guards are back. I'm very curious to see all your God Killer powers being shown. Show me your best potential.
Vados, after talking with Goku, starts to think.
He has a very confident face, but I can't see the tension in his soul. He's not letting it show because he knows that after his decision to accept being a God Killer and attack the Gods of Destruction and he is destroyed, everything can be over in the blink of an eye, by the way. If Son Goku is killed, all of his loved ones can be eliminated as well as punishment for crimes of attacking a Hakaishin. Things must not be easy for you, Lord Goku.
Margarita watched the battle, but began to feel a strange wind on the planet of destruction of Universe 6. Margarita says,
That feeling, that atmospheric pressure of energy. No, it's not possible. Who brought them back?
Who is Margarita talking about? Planet Earth. Gohan and Piccolo start talking. Gohan says, This is very strange. My father's decision was so sudden from the moment he decided to turn against the gods. He went in search of Mr. Beerus in the Makai Kingdom, and when he returned, he already wanted to know how to destroy everything. This is odd. Could it be that he was controlled by some demon from the Makai Kingdom? Piccolo answers, I've been to that kingdom. After all, my father, the original Piccolo Daimao, was from the family of evil. I never knew of a Makaioshin who had powers that were able to control someone as strong as Goku. Wait. There's something different. If I'm not mistaken, this Goku is not the same as the father from that timeline, right? This timeline was totally devastated, and we had all disappeared. But this Goku came from another timeline and fought Black Frieza alongside another being who posed as the god of destruction. And shortly after, he used the Super Dragon Balls to bring us all back. He believes that thanks to him, this was all resolved. While this was all happening, the god of destruction from Universe 7 was in the Makai realm. So if we stop to think about it, maybe Goku isn't so crazy to think that the gods of destruction aren't even there for the lives of mortals. Gohan starts to question himself. Perhaps this is not the fault of the mortals themselves, Mr. Piccolo? Of course, because we were the ones who got into conflicts, the gods of destruction did nothing. It depends, Gohan. There are rumors that every invasion that took place on his home planet took place at the behest of Frieza, and that's why a great catastrophe ended up happening. But the real truth, was that the one who ordered the destruction of Goku and Vegeta's home planet was the god himself. Gohan responds, impressed. Wait, what? Why would a god of destruction order to wipe out an entire race? For fear. Fear of the power they could reach. Gohan gets serious. Piccolo concludes. Apparently, some of them are afraid of humanity. Maybe it would be important to prepare ourselves in case something gets out of control. Gohan questions. Do you think the gods would want to attack us? Piccolo answers. It has been 10 days since Goku left on his journey to end the gods of destruction. So far, we don't know where he is, and we don't know about Beerus either. Something could be being complicated. At that moment, Vegeta appears, and he says, What are you two worms whispering about? Kakarot was not controlled by anyone. I was in the Makai Kingdom. Ever since that other god of destruction, Haki, showed up and cancelled every tournament in the Makai realm, and said he was going to eradicate humanity, and Beerus did nothing. This aroused Kakarot's fury in the god-killer state. Kakarot couldn't see anything but destruction. It took me a long time to understand Kakarot's point of view. It seems that he wanted to show himself stronger and stronger, and his fury against the god of destruction was very great. At first, I thought this was some kind of madness. I thought the gods of destruction was just wanting to end everything. But just like in the Universe 6 tournament and when Beerus came to Earth, I could see how all of us, mortals towards the god of destruction, were helpless beings who do not know what to do at any moment. Beerus humiliated practically all of us when he came to Earth. But all of us fighting together against the gods of destruction were able to do something against his majestic strength. I believe that even today, with my ultra ego in my oblivious form, and Kakarot with his god killer form, will have difficulties to overcome the enemy. But even so, I know that many things will still change. That's why I'm here to warn you. It is better to join Kakarot, because a great battle against the gods is about to start. You must have already noticed 3 divine keys that appeared 2 light years ago from here, right? It is certainly a celestial being, energy never seen before. Be prepared as soon we will go after the gods of destruction. Gohan makes a serious face and says, Vegeta, don't you think you're the only one who got strong during this time? Me and Mr. Piccolo will do it our way. Vegeta responds, Do as you wish, insects. Back in Universe 6 on a planet of destruction, days passed and Goku increased his powers even further. Vado says, Amazing, Mr. Goku! It seems your strength is getting higher. I think you better stop for a little rest. Goku makes a serious face and says, I don't think I'll have time for that, Miss Vados. Vados and Margarita are scared. At that moment, Beerus and Whis appear directly on the planet of destruction of Universe 6. Whis says, Oh, how long have it been, little sisters? I thought I wouldn't see you for a while. But look how good things are. Mr. Goku, you look like you've gotten strong. Now, you've certainly raised your God Killer's powers even further. Beerus said, So that means that this is a transformation of God Killer. On one side we have Goku, and on the other side we have the 3 supreme gods. We'll have to fix all of this mess to be able to re-establish the balance. At that moment, Whis says, Exactly, Lord Beerus. But it seems that someone is trying to settle accounts with you. At that moment, Goku teleports in front of Whis and says, Mr. Whis, this is not up to you. Get out of here. A blast of energy is launched at Goku God Killer. Beerus appears and speaks. Don't think I'll be as careless as those 3 idiots you defeated. I'll turn you into cosmic dust, Son Goku. Goku starts to laugh and talks. This is what I wanted to see! Goku activates his God Killer form. To be continued. Goku God Killer versus Beerus the Destroyer. Who will win? What do you believe and what do you imagine about all of this? Regardless of what it is more than important that you arrive here exposing it in your comments so that we can enter into that crazy debate. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe here to the channel so you don't miss any videos. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.